Rian's lips were cracked, his eyes burning from the scorching desert wind. He could barely see ahead. The sun was merciless and the wind carried sharps and that stung like needles. Beside him, the camel, his only companion, stumbled but didn't fall. It had no name. Just a beast of burden, he once thought. But after what they had been through, Rian now called it Zamir. He didn't know if they'd survive the night. The storm was coming. Water was gone. And behind them was death. Ahead, maybe hope. Chapter 1, Lost in the Dunes. 3 days earlier, Rian was part of a desert convoy transporting goods across the Thar Desert. He wasn't a trader. Just a helper, young, strong, and desperate for money to feed his younger siblings. He was given charge of a camel. An old one. Quiet. Rian barely looked at it except to feed and push it forward. But on the second night, everything changed. A sudden sandstorm hit their camp. Tents flew. Animals screamed. People scattered in all directions. Rian tried to cover his face and shouted for help, but no voice answered. When the storm passed, the desert was silent. He was alone. Except for the camel, still tied to a pole, waiting. Chapter 2, The First Step. Rian's first instinct was panic. But panic in the desert is death. He looked at the camel. It's just us now. He checked the supplies. 1 water skin. A bit of dry food. No map. No compass. Rian had no idea which way to go. But staying meant death. So, he chose a direction and started walking. With the camel beside him. Chapter 3, Thirst. On the second day, the water ran out. Rian's throat was dry like paper. His tongue stuck to the roof of his mouth. The camel panted beside him, foam collecting at its mouth. Rian fell. He lay in the hot sand, dizzy, ready to give up. And then he felt something. A soft nudge. The camel was pushing him with its head. Trying to wake him. Trying to tell him, get up. He looked into its eyes. For the first time, he saw something more than an animal. He saw a will to live. A shared pain. I won't leave you, Rian whispered. He stood. And they walked on. Chapter 4, The Bones. Later that evening, they saw it, bones. A dried-up corpse. Another traveler, now nothing but bones and torn cloth. Rian knelt beside the remains, hoping to find something. Anything. He found a rusted compass. And a flask. It was half full. Water. He couldn't believe it. Rian stared at the camel. We are lucky, Zamir. He shared the water. Half for him. Half for the camel. Chapter 5, The Snake. That night, they found shade behind a large dune. Rian lay down beside the camel, exhausted. He awoke to a sound, hissing. A desert viper, inches from his face. Rian didn't move. But the camel did. It let out a furious snort and stomped. The snake lunged, but Zamir crushed it under his hoof. Rian trembled. You saved me. He didn't sleep again that night. Not from fear. From more. Chapter 6, The Mirage. The next morning, Rian saw it. Trees. Water. A small well. He ran. Cried. Laughed. He dropped to his knees, scooped the water, and swallowed sand. It was a mirage. Fake. His tears were real. He screamed into the sky. Why? The camel sat beside him. Silent. Present. It didn't run. It didn't cry. It waited. And once Rian finished sobbing, it stood again. And so did Rian. Chapter 7, The Stranger. On the 5th day, they saw smoke. A campfire. A man. Hope. Rian shouted and waved. The man turned, saw them, and ran. Rian ran after him, dizzy and weak. Please. Help. The man pointed a rifle. Stay back. You bring the curse. Rian froze. What curse? The man lowered his gun. They say those who walk the desert alone bring death. Rian's voice cracked. I'm not alone. He pointed to the camel. The man stared. Then smiled, bitterly. Then maybe. You have a chance. He gave Rian directions. A well. 2 miles west. No one ever makes it alone, he added. But maybe you two aren't alone. Chapter 8, The Well. They found the well. Dry. Rian screamed. Zamir bent its neck, sniffed the ground and started pouring the sand. Rian watched, confused. And then he saw it. A broken lid. They dug together. Underneath was a hidden chamber. A storage hole. Inside, a jug of water. A bag of dates. A flare. Rian laughed. You're more human than most people. That night, they shared the food. Rian fed Zamir with his hands. Like family. Chapter 9, The Rescue. On the 7th day, Rian climbed the tallest dune and fired the flare. It shot up, red and blazing. He collapsed beside Zamir. If no one comes, he whispered, just go. Find others. Live. He blacked out. When he woke. Helicopter blades. Voices. Hands. And Zamir. Still beside him. Chapter 10, A New Life. Rian was taken to a nearby rescue post. Given food. Water. Clothes. He refused to leave until they promised to rescue the camel too. They laughed at first. But he wouldn't leave without Zamir. They gave in. Weeks later, Rian went back to his village. But now, he wasn't just a helper. He was a survivor. And Zamir? He wasn't just a camel. He was family. Closing lines. Rian built a new life, started a rescue group for lost travelers. At the entrance of his camp stood a statue of a camel. And beneath it, a sign. When I was lost, he led me home.